So you're like, who is this person? It's a whole different person than what I saw in these prenatal visits. So this walled off prevents this traumatic memory from integrating into who they are. And it in the moment they have this sort of reaction. So Bessel van der Kolk, get this book. The Body Keeps the Score. Everybody needs to read that book. His body of work is amazing. He is saying trauma is not the story of something that happened back then. It is the current imprint of pain, horror, and fear living inside of people. This means that trauma is not just a memory, it's a felt decision. And so we have to know the signs and how to empower people. So that is basically trauma. What do we know about what's called developmental trauma, which is ACEs, famously conducted by Kaiser Permanente, profound, long-lasting impact of this developmental trauma. Research is showing that it's a broader understanding of trauma, but basically it is three sections of 10 questions, 10 categories, which is abuse, neglect, and household dysfunction. Abuse could be physical, emotional, or sexual. Neglect involves physical, emotional neglect, severe enough where it disrupts development. Household dysfunctions, part of adverse childhood experiences, parental substance abuse disorder, mental illness, domestic violence, incarceration. Sometimes some divorce can be traumatic. So it disrupts a child's sense of safety and stability. And this is long-term psychological and physiological effects. And then we also want to include community violence and all of that can be included. So what we know about ACEs, and from what I hear from the care managers do give out the ACEs. I saw that comment last week that they do give out ACEs scores for their, they have ACEs scores for all of the people that they, clients that they work with. So an ACE score of 4, so they have 4 of those indicators, makes someone 7 times more likely to be diagnosed with an alcohol use disorder. An ACE score of a 5, just one more, makes the likelihood of substance abuse use disorder 10 times. And and you look at birth outcomes, a higher ACEs score is directly linked to lower weight and shorter gestational age. So each additional ACE point further decreases those metrics. So you think about chronic stress, unresolved trauma, dysregulates the body's stress response, risking all of these complications, hypertension, heart disease, diabetes, all of these things during pregnancy, pushing people into this high risk categories. Um, Also, domestic violence exposure, 1 in 3 infants in the United States is exposed to domestic violence in the first year. They haven't even been able to form language, but they are exposed to this impact of infants' development. It puts stress on the moms, but it's also, I think, increasing the risk of this mental health crisis from where I'm sitting. Okay, so what is how much of this is affected by what you could be seeing? Yeah, so 19.6% of women have experienced contact sexual violence. Think about labor and delivery. They've experienced contact sexual violence. 20% of women that we all give care to have had contact sexual violence. 32.5% of women have experienced either they've severe physical violence, either they are on their person, or they've been in the room where severe physical violence has occurred. Obviously, in some populations, these numbers go up. And you got to understand too that this is the Center for Disease Control. So these are reported numbers. I have a hunch this is just a beginning statistic because we know that people don't often report this. So this is just what's reported.